Well, we are going to have some fun now. We are here at part 2 of Sphere of Influence Marketing. We spent the whole first half working on your mind, trying to create a receptive mindset to impact your beliefs, to stretch your imagination about what is possible to attain in a real estate sales business. Hopefully, you were receptive. You believe that others facing greater obstacles than you are right now have generated at least $100,000 a year additional gross commission income by implementing a proven sphere of influence marketing strategy. Now that you're in that receptive state of mind, let's get into the details, and I'll share with you a proven plan, proven in my personal sales business and proven in the lives of hundreds of real estate agents that I have coached through this identical process and seen them achieve the same results. So here we go. It is a 6-step strategy. Number 1, obtain a robust CRM. We're going to define what that is for you very carefully. 2, create tags in the CRM to identify all the sources of your relationships. Sources is in red because it is a key word. It means how I know this person. 3, create A, B, and C tags to identify the strength of each relationship. If sources is how I know this person, strength is how well I know this person. 4, input contact information on everyone you know or wish to know, inserting the appropriate source and strength tags for each of them. So if you're inserting them one at a time, Joe Smith, you're going to go ahead and identify the source of the relationship and the strength of the relationship, how you know him and how well you know him. And then if you're importing mass contacts, then you want to create columns identifying source and strength so that as they come in by the hundreds or even thousands, they are tagged appropriately. You certainly don't want to have to sit down on a Friday night and go through and try to individually source and strength tag several thousand contacts. Number 5, create and implement marketing strategies for each source and strength tag. That's where we're going to spend the bulk of our time in this part 2 of Sphere of Influence Marketing, and then finally add 5 more contacts to your CRM each week. I know I sound like a broken record already. Add 5 more contacts. Do it every week. But remember, everything I know in a long and productive real estate sales career can be summed up in 2 short statements. Grow your sphere of influence. Grow that database. Grow your CRM. And then market to your sphere. Grow your sphere, market to your sphere. So we're going to put on a massive effort in steps 1 through 4 to build this CRM, this customer relationship management program. But then once that massive effort is done, we're not done. We're going to continue to grow it, adding a minimum of 5 new contacts to that CRM every week. If we're going to work 50 weeks out of the next 52, that means we're going to add 250 additional relationships into our sphere of influence. Our success is guaranteed. So let's get into it one by one. Obtain a robust CRM. CRM, a customer relationship manager. It refers to a database. It's a database, but more than just a repository of information like an Excel spreadsheet. A CRM in the real estate sales business has to have several characteristics which enable it to communicate proactively with our database, and here are the ones you want to look for. The ability to sort, tag, and categorize. We already mentioned needing to tag them by source and strength. There will come a time when you will want to extract from these thousands of contacts in your CRM, ones from a particular source, maybe from church, or maybe they're your old school friends, maybe from the neighborhood. And so you want to be able to have them tagged so you can pull them out. Sometimes you'll want to pull by strength. You'll want to pull just your A contacts if you're doing something very special for a select group within your sphere. Or if you want to blast out an email to everybody, then you certainly want to include your C's. So a database needs to have the capacity to sort, tag, and categorize, 2, it must have mass emailing capability with a variable data. Send out a mass email, that's easy. What in the world is variable data? Variable data means that within that email, your CRM can personalize and customize each message to the recipient so that it doesn't arrive in their email inbox as dear homeowner or dear friend, but in fact it's dear John or dear Sally, dear Jose, customized to them so that your prospects and clients believe that you sat down and individually drafted that message. Mass texting with variable data, particularly if you are attempting to reach millennials, anybody under the age of 40. They are much more responsive to text messages, certainly more so than to email messages or voicemails. Video email, if it's not going video, it's already video. So we need a CRM that's capable of including videos in our distribution. And then finally, drip campaigns. These are typically pre-written email campaigns, email messages that go out on a predetermined schedule. Many CRMs have hundreds of them already drafted and built. You just turn them on for a particular client, or you can create your own custom campaigns. Most CRMs will let you do that as well. So those are the characteristics that you're looking for in a CRM. If you're like, but Frank, where would I go to find such a beastly animal? I would say, you've got them all around you. Top producer, been around in the industry longer than I have. It is an industry standard. Many top agents and teams use it. Real Geeks, a fairly newcomer on the scene, but making a huge impact. Referral Maker CRM, this is the Brian Buffini CRM. I've personally used it, and I think it's one of the best in the business. I especially like its ability to link spouses so that you can mail individually to Jim Smith and Sally Smith if you're sending email or text messages. But then if you're doing a direct mail piece, you can have it go just to Jim and Sally Smith and not have to send two separate pieces of mail to the same address. Wise Agent, another newcomer that's getting good reviews. And Realty Juggler, I've not used it personally, but I've heard good reports from agents who have. We are blessed in this industry to have an abundance of CRM options. All these will do all the things that I mentioned to you. However, if you do not have one of these, excuse me, already, it sounds like it's time for a coffee break, and you are considering which one to select, I do have a suggestion for you because I went through this process myself about a year and a half ago and finally landed on LionDesk. LionDesk will do all the things the other ones will. The difference is the price. It's about $25 a month, or even less if you sign up for an annual plan. It's not very intuitive, I'll tell you that. It's got a bit of a learning curve to it, but I have uploaded tutorial videos for LionDesk onto our YouTube channel. So just select playlists. You'll find LionDesk, and I think find some helpful information there. Let me add one footnote here. I am making this video in September of 2018. LionDesk is the CRM that I have been promoting to our agents since we started 10 months ago. However, I am signing a contract today with an organization called Sync, C-I-N-C. It was formerly known as Commissions Inc., and it is going to provide a very robust CRM to every one of our agents. IDX agent websites, a broker IDX website, all linked together. The websites are designed for lead generation, and those leads flow seamlessly into the CRM. It is a world-class total solution, and we'll have it online and available to all of our agents in about 60 days. That'll be somewhat of a ramp-up process. But the great news is it's absolutely free. So even though $25 a month for LionDesk is a good deal, free is better. That doesn't mean it's free to everybody. If you were to go out as an individual agent, you'd pay about $800 a month for this new product. But I've negotiated a discount for our entire company, and I am lining up vendor support to pay for it. So it'll be absolutely free to our agents. There we go. Number 2, create tags in your CRM to identify the sources of your relationships. How do I know these people? They're past clients, neighbors, church, country club, Zillow. Personal vendors. This one's confusing for some agents. That simply means, where do you spend your personal money? At the nail salon, at the hairdresser, doctors, dentists, grocery stores, restaurants, landscapers. I would encourage you, take a pad of paper with you and a pencil, or if you're one of those young people, your little smart device, also known as a phone, and just make a note over the course of a week of everybody that you spend money with personally. And I think you'll be shocked by the huge number of people you can very quickly add to your database. And don't be shy about asking for their contact information. My mother was a realtor long before I was. She sold a home to the manager of a Kentucky Fried Chicken one time simply by handing the manager her business card as he handed her chicken. And she said, "Hey, I'm a real estate agent in this area. If you ever need help with your real estate needs, let me know." And he said, "Well, as a matter of fact, I'm new here and I need to buy a house." And she sold him a house. So pay attention to those personal vendors, get their contact information, put them in your CRM. Abby Buyer Leads program, Abby Seller Leads program, Facebook Leads, Jacob's Reserve, or whatever geo-farm that you are marketing, Corvette Club, and then your professional vendors, mortgage, title, insurance, inspectors, plumbers, anybody that you send business to, you want to have them in your CRM. Now, at this point, we're not actually uploading the contact information for each of those people. We're simply creating the tags in our CRM so that when we do upload them, we can appropriately tag them by source. So you just need to create a master list of all the ways that you know people. And these are just samples on your screen. And then you'll create those tags. If you need help doing that in LionDesk, I've created a tutorial video which you can find on our YouTube channel. If you're using a different CRM, I'm sure that they have a helpful video in their tutorial section. Number 3, we are still creating tags, but now we are going to create strength tags in our CRM. And I'm just going to suggest, let's keep it simple, A, B, and C. An A strength would be my best clients. They will definitely use and refer me if I simply stay in touch regularly to remind them that I'm a caring, competent real estate professional who wants to help. So this business is mine. I've got a lock on it if I'll only stay in touch. And I'll send that consistent message that I'm a caring, competent real estate professional with a willingness and ability to help them. As long as I do that, I got it. B, I have some connection with these people. When they have a real estate need, I'll definitely be on the short list of agents they consider using as long as I stay in touch regularly. So I'm not guaranteed this business. They may know 3 or 4 agents who have a similar strength of relationship with them as I have with them. So I'm not guaranteed the business, but I'll get a shot. I'll get an at-bat. They'll probably invite me to talk to them, or at least they'll think about inviting me over. So it's a relationship. It's not particularly strong. C, I have no reason to expect these people to work with me. The relationship isn't strong or hasn't been established. I may have gotten their name from a list, or they may be a cold online lead. But if I stay in touch, there is a chance they'll reach out to me when they have a real estate need. You never know. You never know. Now, my question is, why would we even bother with these C's? If we've never met them face to face, we don't know their name, they don't know us, there's no affinity between us, they have no reason to use me. There's no emotional glue in this relationship whatsoever. Why do we even bother? Well, because, as you'll see when we get to number 5 in our marketing strategy, there are ways to reach out to these people en masse that require very little energy, very little effort on our part, and 0 additional cost. So even if there is a microscopic chance that we could do business with some of them, as long as we have a mass number of them, we should take a shot, because you never know. Let me just put some numbers behind that. I shared earlier that the national average for online lead conversion is about 1%. Well, if we converted C's at 1%, which we all agree is a terrible conversion rate, but we've got 1,000 C's in our database, that's 10 transactions every year. If your average commission is $8,000, that's $80,000. Most agents would consider that to be a significant source of income, particularly because it's only one of several. So absolutely, we can make money from Cs, and we want to give ourselves the opportunity to do so. So create the tags in your database, A, B, C, so that when you upload your contacts, you can tag them according to strength. Number 4, here's where the work begins. Input complete contact information on everyone you know or wish to know, tagging each according to source and strength. So now we are actually inputting these contacts, uploading the contacts, exporting them from a current CRM, importing them into our current CRM. And let me just tell you, you're not going to do this on a Saturday night. You need to brace yourself. Most people who commit to this, it literally takes them weeks of very steady work. Now, you don't neglect your family. You don't stop servicing your other clients. But I mean, you may spend several hours a day for several weeks to get all this information in there and get them tagged according to source and strength. You may not have that excess capacity in your schedule right now, but this is where tapping on the accelerator can prove to be very beneficial to your business. So if you need to get up at 4:30 and put in a couple hours of work on this before everybody else gets up, or put everybody else to bed at night, and you spend up a couple more hours from 9 to 11 working on your database, that's what you need to do. Top producers know that sometimes life is a series of rotating neglect. And if you need to neglect sleep for a week or two in order to set yourself up for financial success and provide opportunities for your family such as they've never experienced before, well, you're going to have to pay a price for it. So if you can't work it into your regular schedule, just brace yourself. It's going to be rough, and then make the commitment. Now, let's see if you're getting this. Here's an example. Tim and Serena are in my Sunday school class, so I tag them with a source of church. That's how I know them. But we've never worked together, and we have no relationship beyond being in class together, so they get tagged with a strength of B. How well do I know them? I know them, but, we don't hang out. We don't vacation together. I've never been in their home. They've never been in mine. If I bumped into them at the grocery store, I would know who they are. But that's about as far as it goes. So when they have a real estate need, they'll talk about which agent they're going to use. I'll be in the discussion, but there's no guarantee I'll get their business. So does that make sense? All right, your turn. The Taylors came to you as a Zillow lead. They purchased a home from you last year and raved about you to all their friends. They even referred a cousin who bought a home from you last year. What is the source of that business? Well, the obvious answer is Zillow. They came from Zillow. But is there anything else? Yes, because now they could also be tagged as past clients. Some of you may even have a source as a referral. In other words, they are a source of referrals. They are people who have sent you a referral. So you could have 3 or more tags on the Taylors for source. Now, what about strength? There would only be one tag on strength. And here they're very clearly an A. They are raving fans. You got a lock on their business and their referrals as long as you continue to stay in touch and service them after the sale, just as you did before. One more. Joe and Daphne registered to win a Chick-fil-A gift certificate at the booth you set up at the car show. They told you they were thinking about selling their home. You were very excited, weren't you? But that was 2 years ago, and they've never responded to your calls or email messages. What is the source? We could say car show. If we did a lot of car shows, if we were very specific, it could be the Corvette show, or it could be the Mustang show, or maybe we just do public events in general. Maybe it might be a county fair one week, a health fair the next, and a car show the next. So we just generally do public events. So tag it as the source accordingly. What is the strength here? Now, initially, 2 years ago, you would have tagged them with a strength of B or B plus, maybe even A minus. I'm making up the pluses and minuses, but you get the idea. I mean, you were definitely in the mix. They shared with you that they were thinking of selling their home. They gave you their contact information, but what are they now? Well, now they're clearly a C. This is an old, cold lead. We convert these at a very low level. Remember, our A's and B's are a quality play. That is the strength of relationship. We're trying to get to know these people better and win their confidence. C is a quantity play. We're reaching out to these people en masse. We better have hundreds of Joe and Daphnes or even thousands if we're going to generate a significant income from them. So now we're going to give them a strength of C. Now, as you input each of these contacts into your CRM, certainly if they're an A or a B, you also want to send them a social media connection request, a Facebook friend request, or if you tweet or do Instagram or some of those others, however you connect with people through those platforms, you want to do that. Every time I teach this class, I think I've taught it 7 times in the last 2 weeks, this particular class, somebody raises their hand and say, well, do I connect with them on my business page or on my personal page? Well, certainly you want to connect with them everywhere. But let's be honest, nobody is ever voluntarily going to go to your business page. It doesn't really matter if anybody likes your page. You're going to use that business page when you want to boost an ad or place an ad, manage an ad through Facebook. And we want to do that. That's a key source of new business. That's the only reason we have a business account, though. You're going to do your interaction with friends, family, and, yes, your sphere of influence for real estate sales through your personal page. You don't want to do direct sales pitches, but you just want to kind of post as you go, do fun things on your personal page. If I did one recently, I was showing a home. The buyers were late. I was there, I was down at the yard, and I looked down and I noticed a French drain. People always ask me what a French drain is, especially when they're filling out the seller's disclosure and it asks if they have one. So I just picked up my phone, went live on Facebook, and said, hey, everybody. I'm standing here waiting for a client, and I noticed there's a French drain on the ground. Have you ever wondered what a French drain is? And I hold the phone up and show it to them, and then I talk about it. It's just kind of an as you go. You want to be doing that kind of thing, but do it from your personal page. That was not a direct sales pitch, but it certainly reminded everybody that I'm a caring and, in this case, competent real estate sales professional. Now, do this for every contact in your database. Get full information, complete, correct contact information. Get them tagged according to source and strength, and then send them a Facebook connection request. Now, among my many skills, and I say that tongue-in-cheek, is mind reading. And right now I have a sense of what some of you are thinking. Here it is. But what if I don't have all their contact information? That's actually a wonderful opportunity. The truth is we don't have complete information on just about anybody, and we're not sure if it's correct, even if it is complete, because people change their stuff all the time. New email addresses, new mailing addresses, people move. They may have a new cell phone number. What I want to say is you want to use this scenario to your great advantage. There are very few secrets in the real estate industry, but I'm going to share one of them with you right now and make it not so secret. Gathering contact information on people in your sphere can actually be the trigger that unleashes all of this pent-up business within your sphere of influence. Gathering this information is what gives you the opportunity to find out about their needs and begin selling them houses and buying investment properties and getting referrals to their friends. I call it the $1 million question. So hang with me. Here's kind of how the script goes. Hey, Susie, this is Frank with Abbey Realty. I know it's been a while since we talked. Hey, how are you doing? I'm going to start sending out periodic updates on the real estate market to my closest family and friends. And I wanted to make sure I had all your current contact information. So I'm going to confirm everything I have. If I have some gaps, I'll ask about that. If I don't have all her spouse's information, I'll get all that. So once I've done all of that, I'm about done. That's the purpose of my call. But then almost, by the way, kind of a Columbo thing, I turn back around. Oh, hey, Susie, just one more question. Since I have you on the phone, do you and Bob have any current needs to buy, sell, lease, or invest in real estate? If she says they don't, then I just take one more swing. Well, Susie, do you know anybody who does? I love helping people. If you have some people with real estate needs, I would love to help them. Do you know anybody right now thinking about it? Just ask that question. I guarantee you, if you call all of your A's and B's over the next couple of weeks with this dialogue, you will be covered up with new business. In the conversion rates that we talked about in part one, we recognize that out of every 100 people, and you should have 100 A's and B's, at least 100 between those two categories, we know that 15 of them are going to move this year. So a lot of these 100 are contemplating a move right now, and that could be 2 transactions. It could be a sale and a purchase. They may be considering buying investment real estate. That doesn't even factor into that statistic. And they all know 5 families who are going to be moving this year. There's a very good chance they know one of them right now. So this question is a gold mine. It will make you $1 million. Not this week, not this year, but over the course of several years in your business. If this becomes part of your normal practice, your success in real estate sales is guaranteed. But what if I don't have anybody to call? A lot of agents feel this way. I've had agents tell me, well, I've lived in this area for 20 years, but I only have, 10 friends. I don't really know anybody. I don't get out much. I don't socialize. Really? Think about this. Past clients and customers, friends and family, former coworkers, neighbors, organizations. We're human beings. We're connected to other people somehow. How are you connected? Is it through your church, your Zumba class, soccer team, PTA, alumni association from your grade school, high school, or college, your real estate vendor partners? Even if you're brand new in the business, you should be building a team of vendor partners and just go to them and say, hey, I'm looking for key partners that I can grow with. I want to add you to my database. I want to share with you real estate information when I provide periodic updates because I want to stay top of mind with you. And I'd appreciate the same thing in return. As you come across people who have real estate needs and they're not in a committed relationship with a realtor, I would appreciate it if you would send them my way. Let's create a win-win referral relationship. Boy, you go out and have that conversation with 20 or 30 vendors and you can find them. Your phone is going to start ringing. And don't forget your personal vendors, doctors, dentists, hairdressers, nail tech, landscaper, etc. The bottom line is you do know people. You do have people to call. And you just need to work through a systematic process of identifying them. Now, what about those of you who have just moved here and you really don't know anybody? This isn't an excuse either. Literally, you could have crawled out from under a rock this morning. You don't know another soul on the planet, much less in this local real estate market. And I will say to you, it does not matter. You can still have 100 A and B contacts within the next couple of weeks and thousands within a few hours of C contacts if you pursued it. Now, among those A's and B's, there'll be very few A's because those are strong relationships. But you can certainly get on the short list with a whole bunch of people very quickly. So here's how you do it. Just get your laptop fired up and start Google searching organizations in your area. Meetup groups are meeting every day of the week all over every town and city in America. Photography clubs, turtle breeding clubs, real estate investment clubs. Find some that you're interested in and start going to them. Literally, if you're new, go to a meetup group every single day. Get contact information on everyone in the group. Using that dialogue, hey, I'm a new real estate sales professional in the area, looking to grow my business and my referral relationships and friendships. I'd love to include you. Can I get all your current contact information? Oh, by the way, since we're talking, do you have any current need to buy, sell, lease, or invest in real estate? Do you know anybody who does? Have that conversation. Go join some civic organizations, the Kiwanis Club, the Lions International. Join some fun clubs like Toastmasters. That's a club I've been part of for several years. Made many, many, many friendships and sold some houses through it too. Synergy, that's a local networking group in the Woodlands. In the Woodlands, we got lots of trees. You look behind every tree, there's a business networking group. There's a group of 4 or 5 people back there exchanging business cards, hoping to do business with each other. Just Google them. Some of them have fees and requirements, and some of them are just, hey, show up, bring a bunch of business cards, and make a lot of new friends. There are people meeting in groups everywhere. That's why I say there's no excuse whatsoever for not having 100 new A or mostly B relationships within a couple weeks if you get after it. So, what about going big? Remember I said thousands of C contacts within a few hours? This is exactly what I meant. Most real estate brokerages have a subscription to Cole Realty Resource. I know that Abbey Realty does. We are able to download homeowner information for any neighborhood in the state of Texas. So you could identify a neighborhood of 1,000 homes, get all of their names and addresses, and about a third of the time we'll have an email address or cell phone number. Now imagine that. Your CRM will do mass texting, mass emailing. This isn't a class on geographic farming, but my goodness, let your mind roll. What kind of message could you come up, compelling message that would cause your phone to ring? Think about that. 2, download demographic contact lists from REI Source or Remine. These allow you to pull lists of people who have some affinity with each other. They are the same age, they graduated from the same school, they drive red Corvettes, they raise yellow parakeets, they came from Tajikistan, they speak Urdu. Just about any combination of those factors. Literally just go dozens and dozens and dozens of demographic characteristics that you can pull from. And I would encourage you to identify people demographically who are like you. Birds of a feather flock together. I'm not talking about protected classes here. I'm talking about your interests, your passions, your background. Did they graduate from the same school that you did? Do they enjoy wildlife photography like you do? Are they your same age? Are they empty nesters? Are they just starting a family? Find people demographically like you, and they'll be more likely to work with you and begin marketing to them. 3, obtain contact lists from church, clubs, alumni associations, and any affinity group with which you have some association. You can literally add hundreds or thousands of contacts from these sources within just a few hours. But wait, there's more. Remember those cold leads from all your past lead generation efforts? Those leads, you're like, these leads are no good. These people don't call me back. They don't even respond to my emails or text messages. Well, guess what? They are real people. They do live in houses, and they will someday sell those houses and buy more, and they will be using a real estate agent. So even if they're C contacts, even if the conversion rate is 1% or worse, upload them because you never know. At this point, if you had been able to take action on everything that we've learned in the plan, let's just teleport ourselves 3 weeks into the future, you would literally have thousands of people in your database. Most will be C's, but you can make a good living from them, good money, even at a 1% or worse conversion rate. And you can make well over 6 figures from just 100 A's and B's. So yes, it's hard work. I'm not downplaying that. You're going to have to press hard to do what I've shared with you already. And that's just building the infrastructure. It's building the mousetrap. We haven't put any cheese on the trap yet. But you got to build the trap first. Set the trap out before you're going to catch a big juicy mouse. We're not done yet. Remember what I said? Once you've done that, we're going to continue adding 5 contacts to your CRM every week. And if you're like, well, I put everybody I know into the CRM, how am I going to get 5 new ones? Well, remember, we do have other lead generation sources. Open house, online leads, Facebook marketing, business networking, sign calls on our listings. We may be reaching out to FSBOs, expireds. We might be geo-farming, demo farming. So many ways to connect with people. If all of those sources that you're working in your business can't produce 5 new contacts every week, well, I would say that you need some new strategies, because any one of those things can produce dozens of new entries into your CRM every week. Remember from part 1, we're not accepting the things we cannot change, but in fact, we are changing the things that we find unacceptable. If you need help with some of this stuff, I do have tutorial videos showing you exactly how to create these tags in LionDesk and then how to import contacts. So just go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/AbbeyRealty, and select the SOI Marketing playlist or the LionDesk playlist. Reality check. I've been warning you, it's not easy. How long will it take to do this? Many, many hours, probably several weeks. Is it worth that level of effort? Well, remember what we talked about in part one. You could go to med school, spend 12, 14, 16 years, run up $500,000 in student loans, have an absolutely miserable life for some of the best years of your life. Oh, and have a burden of student debt that'll take you 20 years to pay off. Or you could spend 2 or 3 weeks building a database, spend $25 a month, and earn as much as a surgeon. It's your call. Life is about choices. Okay. Now, real estate sales is the path that you've chosen. And if this is the path you have chosen to fund your life, and you're not going to go back to med school, then I would suggest you give it everything you got. All right, number 5. I told you we'd spend the bulk of our time here. This is where the fun begins. This is where we put the cheese on the trap. It's where we create and implement marketing strategies for each source tag or that should say strength tag, each source and strength tag. So here's what it looks like. Number 1, write a letter from the heart. If you've never heard that expression, a letter from the heart is very similar to a Christmas letter. You're updating friends and family upon your life, the events of the past year. Little Johnny became a Cub Scout, and we got to vacation in the Grand Canyon. Just include lots of photos, tell your story, introduce your family, highly personal. But the time frame for a letter from the heart is much longer. You're going to go back to the very beginning, that log cabin in the woods where you were born. You're going to talk about that 5-mile walk to school in the snow, uphill both ways. You're going to tell your life story. Not every silly detail, but you're going to select certain events that were pivotal in creating your values and causing you to be the person that you are today. Focus on challenges that you've overcome, lessons you've learned, and people who have influenced you on your journey. This is a personal story, but it does have a business purpose, because once you've kind of shared your story and pulled back the curtain on your own life, then you're going to share how all of these experiences have shaped your values, given you some unique skills in some cases, and most of all, created a passion in you for serving real estate clients at the highest level. That's the purpose of this letter, is basically to present you to people as the absolute best real estate professional, to serve them and represent them. But it isn't just because you popped out of a box all ready to go. It's because you intentionally learned the life lessons that you came through from the very beginning. So, we all have a different story. Let me just give you a couple of quick examples. Let's say that you were an accountant in a previous career life, so you know the numbers. You can help real estate clients maximize the financial outcome of their transaction because you were an accountant. Do buyers want to buy at the lowest price? Do sellers want to sell at the highest price? If you're an accountant, you can crunch numbers and not just on the transaction itself, but the terms of the transaction, the timing of the transaction. You pay attention to details, perhaps even getting involved in the loan and helping to structure that in a certain way. You have a level of expertise that the average real estate agent doesn't have. Leverage that for the benefit of your clients. Okay, that's a skill. Let's talk about a life lesson. What if in your letter from the heart you told the story that you were raised by a single mom? There were not a lot of resources. You lived in an apartment, perhaps even subsidized housing with your 3 or 4 siblings while your mom worked very long hours to support you. But at the same time, though she worked hard, she insisted that you work hard. You always had part-time jobs growing up, and you helped contribute to the family. You did your homework. She insisted that you get the best possible grades that you were capable of getting. When it was time to go to college, you weren't poor enough to get a scholarship. You weren't rich enough to have somebody pay your way. So you, again, had to work 2, 3 jobs to put yourself through college. You had to start at a community college. You had to work nights. It took you 6 years because of having to support yourself and your family. before you finally graduated with your bachelor's degree. So you're telling this story of hardship, but you overcame. So how does that impact your real estate career? Now you understand the value of hard work. And just as you worked hard to support yourself and your family as a child, as a young person, now you are applying that same level of intensity and commitment to serving your buyer and seller clients. It's not an 8 to 5 job for you. It's a whatever it takes job for you. And because you work so hard for everything you have, you understand the value of a nickel. And because of that, you work so hard. You have taken advanced classes in negotiations so that your buyers don't have to pay a penny more than they need to, and your sellers can get every nickel out of the transaction that's possible because you learned the value of a dollar from all those life experiences. So those are just 2 quick examples off the top of my head. Tell your story. It needs to be several pages long, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages long, but not in 11-point type. You want to put this in at least a 14-point type. Make it big. You're going to have lots of photos in here to tell your stories, like a Christmas letter, remember. Don't just give somebody 6 pages of text. That would be overwhelming. But 4, 5, 6 pages of large fonts with lots of pictures. If you tell a compelling story, and in the end, you show them what's in it for them, okay, why all this matters to them in their real estate transaction, then you will have accomplished the purpose. Now, I understand what many of you are thinking right now. Frank, are you out of your mind? Are you crazy? Nobody's going to read a long volume of my life story. This is the Twitter age. We got to get it done in 68 characters. All right. I understand the objection. And frankly, I embrace the objection because we want every other real estate agent in the market feeling that way and therefore refusing to make the commitment, do the hard work of writing this letter from the heart. But because we're friends, I'm going to tell you the truth. Can you handle the truth? Here it comes. Most people won't read your letter. We know that, and we don't care. There's a truth about marketing. If you can get this, I'm gonna say it in just a moment, but I want you to put your mind in a receptive mode because this could change everything that you do in your communication style for the rest of your career. We market to the interested, not the disinterested. We know that the majority of people out there are the disinterested. We don't care. We still write knowing. We speak, we email, we mass text, we put together postcards. Everything that we do in marketing, our personal brochure, is for that small subset of the population that is interested. Think about the last time you watched a football game. There was a truck commercial, wasn't there? Always beer and trucks. Think about the Chevy commercial. Watching a football game, Chevy truck commercial comes on. What do most people do? They're going to the bathroom, going to the kitchen, going to make a sandwich. Does Chevy know that? Yes. Why in the world then do they spend all these millions and millions and millions of dollars knowing that most people are not interested in their commercial? It's because there are a few who are interested. And who are those? Who are the interested in a Chevy truck commercial? It's people who are considering buying a truck. They want to know what Chevy has to say about their product. So they sit on the couch. They cross their legs if they have to. They put up with those tumby rumbles if they have to because they're thinking about buying a truck and they're interested. So who's going to read your letter? Just any old person? No, they're not. But somebody who's contemplating a real estate transaction, they're thinking about buying or selling a home or getting into investing in real estate, and they're going through the process. Well, who am I going to find to help me with this? Who's going to represent me as a real estate agent? And then your letter from the heart comes in, and it's very compelling with photographs right on the cover, and you state in the opening paragraph that you're going to explain how everything in your life has prepared you to provide the highest level of service to your buyer and seller clients. Oh yeah, they're going to read that letter. And that's who you care about. In fact, by the time they get through page 6, they will have bonded emotionally with you as if you had grown up together. Because people relate to pain. They don't care much about your successes. That's just bragging. But when you talk about hardships that you've been through and obstacles that you've overcome and challenges you've faced, people relate to that. Everybody has a broken heart. Everybody has faced odds that they felt like they wouldn't be able to overcome. So if you can share your story, they'll relate to that. They'll feel like they know you even if they've never met you. And you put yourself in the preferred position to get their business. Number 2, you want to mail that letter to your A and B clients. Not your C's, it's too expensive. Remember, we're not spending money on them. But your A's and B's get this. You want to personally sign every letter. You want to use a 9x12 envelope so you don't have to fold your letter. And I do prefer white to the manila or brown because the white is more personal. It looks like you spent more money on it. You want to hand address every envelope because this is a letter from the heart, not from the factory. And I would suggest mail out 30 to 50 every week, just as many as you can handle. And I'll share with you, I did this 4 years ago for the first time. I literally tripled my business from this strategy that I'm sharing with you right now. I would send out 30 packages every Monday, and like clockwork, my phone would ring on Thursday. Somebody got the letter, and they were calling to ask for my assistance with a real estate need or refer me to somebody with a real estate need. It literally tripled my business overnight when I implemented this strategy. I'm going to recommend that you update your letter and then resend it every year, just like the Christmas letter is updated. You're going to do yours in January. That's when the real estate market picks up in most places and people are through the holidays and they're refocused on real estate concerns. Number 3, create and share a video version of your letter from the heart. So you wrote it out. Now you're going to get a little tripod adapter. You're going to put your phone on a tripod. You're going to look at it and you're going to start talking. And no, you do not want a professional makeup artist, a professional videographer. This is very casual. It's from the heart, not the studio. So don't worry about what you look like. Don't worry if you stumble over your words. Don't pause and feel like you need professional editing. Just laugh at yourself and keep going. And no, you do not need cue cards and scripts and cheat sheets and poster boards. Trust me, I've seen it all. Whose story are you telling? It's your story. So just look at your phone, just like you would look at a friend, and tell your story. That's what's compelling, and that's what will connect with people. You want to blast that video out to your A, B, and C clients. Remember, we got a robust CRM with video email capability. You want to post it on your YouTube and Facebook channels. And you want to put a link to it in your email signature. Dropbox is very handy for that. I can't tell you how helpful it's been to me over many years now when I'm connecting with a new client to say, hey, looking forward to meeting you when you get into town in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, just click the link below that's tagged Letter from the Heart so that you can learn a little bit about me. I look forward to getting to know a little bit about you when you arrive. Update that video every January when you update your letter. Just make that part of your business discipline. Number 4, you want to implement a direct mail campaign to your A and B clients. I know what you're thinking. Remember I told you I had mind reading skills? You're thinking, isn't direct mail dead? Frank, didn't you go to that seminar? Didn't you hear what the guru said? Everything is electronic. Everything is online. Well, you want your competition to think so, because when the herd is going right, you want to go left. I can tell you from my personal experience, as well as from the experience of agents I've coached over the years, a carefully crafted and consistent direct mail program can make you a fortune. So let's talk for a moment about what not to send in direct mail. You don't want to send anything in a standard envelope. It looks like junk mail. They'll throw it away. You don't want to send any letter of any kind other than your annual letter from the heart. And remember, that goes in a hand-addressed 9x11 white envelope, so it does not look anything like junk mail. Don't mail a pre-printed homeowner tip or other lame marketing piece. Apologies to Brian Buffini. I love that man. He has influenced me and shaped me and taught me so much over the years, but I do not believe in the stuff that he has his agents mail out because it looks like written spam. Anything that requires your personal involvement should be banned from your marketing strategy. And you're probably saying, well, Frank, why? I mean, I know what my clients need. I can create something, that's whiz bang, highly effective. As a matter of fact, you can. And the most effective pieces are ones that you're personally involved with and you create every month just for that particular neighborhood or that market or that situation. However, I did it myself for several years. And one year, as I evaluated my business plan at the end of the year, and my plan had called for me to send a customized postcard every month. I looked back, and in fact, I'd only sent it 4 out of the 12 months. I had discovered the problem, and it was me. Because anything that requires my personal involvement, I will not be able to maintain consistency over time. There's just too much going on. And let me just tell you, having known and coached thousands of real estate agents, it's true for you too, whether you want to admit it or not. So you want to outsource your direct mail program, set it up so that it goes out on autopilot. I recommend postcards and magazines. Those postcards should have recipes on them or anything with a picture of a kid or a dog. People just love kids and dogs. Now, they're going to throw away this postcard for the most part. But as they're sorting their mail and they pick it up, you want them to pause because there's a big old piece of chocolate cake on there and people can't resist chocolate cake, or there's, a Labrador retriever. People are going to look at it, think, oh, cute. Oh, Frank, he sent me their postcard. He's so nice, and they're going to throw it away. Mission accomplished. You made the impression. That was the point. New listings. You can promote with your postcards, market updates, just listed, just sold. Recipes, kids, and dogs really demonstrate that you care. Listings, market updates, just listed, just sold really illustrate that you're competent. So both of them send important messages. I'm going to recommend also that you consider sending a magazine. I have implemented this in my business recently and encouraged many of my agents to do so, and they are. Let me share with you both the postcard and magazine options that I recommend. These are all vendors I have personal experience with. Sendsations.com, tons of options, dozens and dozens and dozens of postcard campaigns, very inexpensive. This is the dogs, kids, recipes, famous quotes, funny jokes, homeowner tips, on and on and on. And they give you a lot of customization options on the front and the back side of the postcard. RealMarketingForYou.com is the website. Real Marketing is the name of the company. This is higher end. They create custom pieces every month. It's not you, the agent, that's doing it, but they are doing it on your behalf. They've got top-notch designers. The materials they use are top of the line. It is more expensive than a Sensations. But again, I target these. I send out Sensations to more of perhaps a geo farm I don't live in. I send Sensations to my referral network, some past clients and customers. I'm using Real Marketing for my current geo farm that I live in my neighborhood. And this year alone, I've earned probably $100,000 within my neighborhood from about a $4,000 investment. So it is more expensive, but well worth it. And then 3, American Lifestyle Magazine. I talked with you in part 1 about not allowing any fear or excuse to derail your success, about adopting that mantra of, I'm not going to accept the things I cannot change, but I'm going to change the things that I cannot accept. And I told you that there is a way to provide top-of-the-line, highest quality marketing pieces to your A and B clients at zero cost. And when I said that, I was thinking about the American Lifestyle Magazine. You are well branded on the front and on the back and on the tear-out sheets, but on the inside back cover, they provide space for you to put in advertising for your vendor partners. And literally for a very modest monthly investment, your vendor partners can cover 100% of the cost of this magazine. So now you're reaching out to your top 100 A's. If you don't have 100 A's, then include some of your B's with the highest level quality marketing piece that they won't throw away. They won't look and throw, but they'll put on the coffee table. I think American Lifestyle has determined through study that the average recipient spends about 44 minutes in this magazine, and it won't cost you anything. So I recommend all 3 of these vendors, depending on who you're trying to reach with your direct mail campaign. Number 5, call your A and B clients with a real estate message twice each year. This is not overwhelming. presuming you work 240 days each year, you'll call everyone twice. And you will call everyone twice, divide your total number of A and B clients by 120 and call that many every day. Think about it this way. If you have 200 A's and B's, you call them twice, that's 400 calls. If you're working 240 days a year, that's less than 2 calls a day. This is not overwhelming. And don't think you've got to call them all at once. Massive action, you just kill yourself, 3 days every month or whatever is really rampant in the real estate industry right now. I don't buy it at all. Consistent action beats massive action every time. And there are times to press on the accelerator, but it shouldn't be you just wear yourself out periodically. Remember, it was the tortoise that won the race, not the hare. Just be consistent in your business, doing the right thing every single day, and your success is guaranteed. What do you say when you call? I give you a few options here on the screen, but my favorite is the direct approach. Hey, Jim and Sally, this is Frank over at Abbey Realty. I like to check in with my favorite clients about once or twice a year just to see if you have any current real estate needs I can help with. It's a very direct approach. They understand it's a business call, not a chatty call, and they'll tell you if they have business for you, and they'll appreciate it, frankly. You're not calling people don't want to chat with you, trust me, most people. But if you can just express the reason for your call, if they have the reason, they'll share with you. If not, then you can move on to the next one. But be sure to take your second swing. Hey, if you don't have any current real estate needs, do you know anybody who does? This is such a simple step. Agents are all the time looking for the new whiz-bang technology, strategy, the magic that's going to make things work for them. This is what will make things work for them. It's what will work for you. It will work if you will. How about that? So don't be looking for anything mysterious when you have something very plain and simple right in front of you that will make you a fortune. Number 6, mass text your A, B, and C clients 4 times each year. Since it's a mass message, you want to make sure it has value to everyone. So, hey, Jim and Sally, Merry Christmas. Hope you guys have a great New Year. Jim, your favorite realtor. Invite them to an event. Remind them of the time change. Give them a quick market update. Hey, Susie, just want to let you know that real estate sales in our market are up 12% this year over last year. If you're thinking about selling, this is the time to get the best possible price. Let me know how I can help. Real short, simple message. And remember, you're using variable data, so each message is personalized. Number 7, you want to shoot a consumer education or listing promotion video on Facebook Live every week. This is not a professional video. You're just going to, like you do a regular post, but you're going to hit the live video and you're just going to start talking to your phone. And I would make it fun. Do stuff that's fun. Don't make them long. Make them little short videos. I was showing property on a lake recently, and out on the dock, they had this huge monstrosity. It kind of looked like an antenna, but there were spikes going in every direction and lights on it. I had no idea what it was. So I just shot a quick video. I said, hey, everybody, I'm out on the lake, and I think I've spotted an alien communicator device. What do you think? Hold it up there and then come back. Let me know if we should be concerned or inform the FBI. And people, it lit up Facebook. Everybody wanted to comment and offer their opinion. I think in the end, we really didn't figure out what it was, but we had a lot of fun with it, and that's the point. Save the video to your YouTube channel, and then once each month, choose the best video from the previous 4, and then email it out to your A, B, and C clients. Number 8. This is the last of our marketing strategies. Hold a client appreciation event at least once each year. You can rent a theater on Tuesday nights at the local cinema fairly inexpensively, negotiate a discount on soda and popcorn, and invite all of your A's and B's. And if you don't get enough, then you can reach into your preferred C's. Have a hot dogs at the park. You don't have to spend a lot of money on this. A holiday pie pickup. Let them know in advance. I've got pumpkin pie or apple pie. Which do you prefer? That's how you get them interacting with you. A dinner cruise on the lake, that can be very expensive. I've known agents who've done that. Dinner at the country club in December. Those are very expensive events, but the reason the agents do them year after year after year is that they pay for themselves. If you spend $4,000 on a dinner cruise, but you get 4 referrals that night, 4 new transactions. Is it worth it? Most agents would say yes. Do a concert in the park. I invited this young man a couple years ago. I just rented a pavilion at the local park. I invited 500 people. 50 showed up. But I actually got value from all 500 because they all took notice of what I was doing. I invited them. They appreciated that. They understood that for me it goes beyond the transaction. It's a relationship. I'm inviting them to spend time with my family and have fun. And oh, by the way, my vendors paid for the full cost of the event. So it didn't cost me anything, but it generated a lot of goodwill and several new transaction opportunities. All right, you have just been introduced to a complete sphere of influence marketing system based upon letter from the heart, direct mail, phone calls, text messages, videos, social media, and client appreciation events. This is a complete system designed to extract that additional $100,000 every year from your sphere of influence. So I want to close with a few questions for you. First of all, can you do this? Is there anything that we've talked about that would be impossible for you? It's beyond your knowledge and skills. You don't have the capability of doing that. Well, if that is the case, then give me a call. I'll connect you with one of our Aspire certified mentors, and they'll help you through the process. So no excuses on the can. Perhaps we should ask, should you do this? Do you need the extra $100,000? Could you put it to some good use? Well, if you can, then the answer is probably yes. But let me circle back to a question I asked at the very beginning in part 1. If you implement this system, and one of your friends, family members, past clients, or current real estate prospects has a real estate need, are they likely to call you? No guarantee they'll call you, but have you put yourself in the preferred position to get that call? The answer, of course, is absolutely yes, you have. And that is the point of a sphere of influence marketing strategy, is to put yourself in the preferred position to get the call from those people that you most want to do business with. This strategy works if you will. I hope so much that you will make the commitment to your own business. I can't want it more than you do, but I hope you want to succeed at the highest levels. You follow a simple strategy like this, then of course, if I can ever help you, let me know. My name is Frank Gray. My professional passion is helping real estate agents achieve at any level of aspiration, and that includes you. So thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, take care. God bless.